I'm going to hit this button.
Do it.
Hi, everybody. It's Kindle Fire here on the Carnival Jubilee, and you're listening to the Carnival Cruising Podcastaways.
Here are your hosts, Thomas Kennedy, Trevor Shelby, Gary Manning, and Jennifer Roll. We talk cruises every day. Let the golden boys and girls take you away to a place of fun in the sun. Join us as we say, welcome to Carnival Cruising Podcastaways.
I'm on a cruise. I'm on a cruise, guys. Guys, I'm on a cruise. Hey, guys, I'm on a cruise.
Every time I start that episode, I always kind of wonder, maybe where Gary went. No, I always there he is. No, I always remember I need to update this. So,
oh, really, what do you need to update for?
Yeah, I've got to. I realize that I may have included Kathy Lee Gifford where she shouldn't be. This is very unfortunate placement. I don't know.
How'd she end up there?
I don't know.
It just happened.
Yeah. Well, how is everyone doing this week? All right.
Go ahead, Jen.
Oh, I was just.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, I just realized I had the last bite of my supper that I haven't eaten, so I put it in my mouth, and then she freezes.
Yeah.
Oh no! Well, I hope I'm not still frozen.
So not really anymore.
Super.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Thank you, Jen, for adding so much. That still was amazing too.
It's still amazing. It works out so well. It's almost like we've edited in the way. It's just like, well, let me. Yeah, exactly. See,
it's very Max Headroomy, like.
Somewhat, yes. Yes, very. You just kind of glitchy. If we could put the lines going across your screen, it would be even better.
That is, this is terrific. I'm having a great week. I'll keep it short.
That's awesome to hear.
Time to chew your food, Gary.
It did, thank you. But no, I'm right there in the same boat. It's already feels like it's Friday to me, but I'm hoping that Thursday and Friday will, like hurry up on by the way that, fly on by is the way that the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday did. Thank you for the visual clues there, Trevor.
Yeah, no,
sometimes words just leave my brain. So sorry.
Yeah. I get that. I really do.
14 concussions, and it happens. So,
well, no concussions, and I sometimes find it hard to find the word. So, but I will say my week has been pretty good. So, I've just a lot of work, and that's been about it. Working from home as well. I got a secret project that I'm working on. Can't really talk about it because it's secret. Stop asking. So, but it's very important though. So I've been working on it, and so yeah.
What could it be?
I don't know, but it's slippery as soap. That's all I gotta say.
But it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, slippery slope, and I don't know, whatever you want to say. I did have an update for Mr. Kennedy, and was wanting to put it out there. He did. If those of you who are not on our Facebook page, make sure you do go over to our Facebook page or Facebook group, and that's where we have, all inside chats and all kinds of stuff going on. So the Mr. Kennedy posted in there, he wasn't on last week's episode. We did kind of mention he had a health scare. So he did kind of let everybody know that he did have a stroke. And so he's doing better than where he was, and I spoke to him just yesterday, and he sounds really good. He's being very positive, and he's getting through everything one point at a time. He wants everybody to know, just so you know, he will be back. So he is very focused, and so keep him in your thoughts. He's got a bit of a road ahead of him, and so we really, really wish him the best. I'm trying to figure out some time I can go up there. I'm hoping maybe this weekend or something I can go up there and go see the dude. So
I definitely want to make sure that everybody knows that I was just joking last week whenever I didn't really, kind of wished him bad will and saying that it was my goal to be on the show with Trevor.
Mhm.
But I always try to make light of situations, even though in the darkness. But I will say this too. Sometimes after strokes, your tastes change. So maybe, just maybe, he's going to like a breakfast burrito.
Oh no!
Thoughts and prayers, Thomas.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
You get through this very smoothly. That you're back with us soon and enjoying a
Yes.
breakfast burrito, like legitimately.
Yeah, I think the main thing that we want to put out there, well wishes, love you, brother, and
Yep.
we'll definitely have you back soon.
As it says right here, get well soon, TK.
Absolutely. Well, and that's what mine says too, as well. Just so you know, Tom, I know you're just listening to the show, so mine says that as well.
And Jen says we miss you, buddy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Well, in honor of Mr. Kennedy, we will continue what we've done for the last 2,822 episodes, which is we have Am I the Snooty Snoot, which is I
didn't know which direction you were going there. So
there's only one direction, but it's the only thing we've ever done.
Okay.
Oh, I loaded the wrong one. Hang on. That's the anonymous listener. So, and this one, it's about a minute long. So just so y'all know.
Holy cow.
I didn't have a too long, didn't read. But to make it entertaining, Madison did hire the same cowboy from last time.
My daughter is 24. Her name is Kelly, and my younger daughter is 23, and her name is Sarah. They both had very different high school experiences. Kelly was very social and in different sports. Sarah was very academic and had a small group of friends. Kelly got a sports scholarship for college, but soon dropped out of college after she failed multiple classes. She basically partied and did her sport and nothing else. Sarah went on to finish her degree and is doing well in life. Kelly has a jealousy issue, and I have talked with her before about it. She is never happy when Sarah has an accomplishment. Today, Sarah told us that she is going on a cruise for her vacation this year. Kelly always wanted to go on a cruise and couldn't afford it with her waiter job. In the car, she blew up saying that Sarah was a loser in high school, so it isn't fair that she has all this now. She went on for a bit when I had enough. I told her that life isn't like high school, and it as if she was the loser now. This started an agreement and she called me a bitch. My daughter is 24. Her name is Kelly, and my younger daughter is 23, and her...
It started over.
Yeah. But we needed that. We needed the context again. So Sarah's 24, Kelly's 23.
Yes, exactly.
Kelly was a studier. Sarah was a partier.
Yeah. So what we have is Sarah is going on a cruise, and Kelly's not very happy about it.
Sarah's going on the cruise?
Wait.
I thought Kelly was going on the cruise and Sarah was...
The studier is going on the cruise.
Yes.
And the partier is not. Is that
Kelly has the jealousy issue.
Right.
And she's the one that dropped out of she got the sports scholarship. You want to listen to it again?
Not really.
I love Sam Elliott. I love it. I mean, Sam Elliott reading Ada threads. I mean, why not?
So Sarah is going on the cruise. Kelly is not so happy about this. situation because she was a loser in high school. So I honestly, and in retrospect, looking at it, because I was just kind of like, I need something, and I was like, okay, it does say, am I the asshole for telling my daughter that life isn't high school? And if it was, she would be a loser now.
Well, the snooty snoot is even better in this. I mean, because we could say, is dad the snooty snoot for that, or is Sarah the snooty snoot for, being mad at Kelly, or is Kelly even the snooty snoot because she booked a cruise knowing that her older sister and her dad could not go on it?
Yeah.
Sounds
and
like
that her sister and her dad planned a surprise beach getaway for her birthday.
Oh
And
no!
it's just rude. The whole thing.
So rude.
Absolutely unacceptable.
And it's over Valentine's Day.
And over Valentine's Day.
And Father's Day.
Monsters and Father's Day.
Yeah, it's the same weekend.
Father's Day as well. Now dad has to decide.
I'm just gonna say
what do you say?
I don't know. There's better ways to handle it than what they did. If you are saying that is the dad the asshole, I think the sister, the jealous one, is the a-hole. But I also think that the dad was kind of an a-hole for saying, well, you'd be the loser now. But
not 100%, not in my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm going to jump in here, Jen, and take it from you, because I will hardly ever disagree with Trevor on something. But in my opinion, the girl needed to be put in her place. And I'm glad that Daddy did so. It just was one of those things. While Sam Elliott was reading it, and it was just what he said. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so perfect. But at the same time, I mean, I can understand in today's society that is not acceptable. However, I'll come up through a little bit different, and where, that type of quote unquote love, which is called tough love, was acceptable. So.
Yeah, it sounds like that sister was acting like a fool. So I've have no issue with any of this, and I hope whichever one of them is going on a cruise has a fantastic time.
There you have it. Exactly.
Kelly or Sarah, whichever one.
I really wish that we could figure it out and go on the cruise with her. I mean, I love partying with a studier that has turned partier.
There you go. Well, we will post this over on the Facebook page, and you will get to pick who was the snooty snoot. So
yeah, we have actually, let me look. I think we've done 3 polls this week, believe it or not, over on our Facebook group. And I think we have results for 2 of them, and one of them I think locks up here pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so let's see if this one's still, oh nope, it still has another day to go, but it's got quite a few votes on it. I mean, it's been one of the higher voted polls that we've done, and I just did it on a whim yesterday on the way home. But going to the Am I a Snooty Snoot post from last week, we talked to Trevor and I, we were alone, all on the show by ourselves. We didn't have Jen or Tom to help us out and to keep us on track. So we talked about a lot of different things, but we did do an Am I the Snooty Snoot? And I believe, Trevor, it was one that you even posted on Reddit.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the results for that, okay, the poll was, are Gary and Trevor a snooty snoot? This was the anonymous member. They did this poll for me. Are Gary and Trevor a snooty snoot for having a dude cruise over Valentine's Day? And then he gave the person gave the dates, February 13th through the 17th of 2025. The options were no, of course not, by no means, and Trevor definitely is. Well, I'm happy to say 60% of our voters said that we are not snooty snoots, while 40% said Trevor definitely is.
Well, that's and Gary, I would like to point out that I find it very respectable. I noticed I dug through the votes and I realized that you, sir, did not vote because you wanted this to be as a fair vote
right.
as possible.
Exactly.
So
That's right.
I highly respect that.
I was not going to try to sway the vote at any point, unlike somebody who did and voted for themselves as being a
Yeah,
snooty
well,
snoot.
because I thought that was hilarious. So
Yes, that was rather funny.
yeah.
So, and then we had a speak pipe last week, and that speak pipe, that was an anonymous listener, and that anonymous listener, or no, a loyal anonymous listener, I can't remember exactly what all that was said, but
Sure.
they did a speak pipe saying that their favorite, podcast was having a dude's cruise over Valentine's Day, and that are they a snooty snoot for booking the guys cruise over President's Day weekend? I mean, I did this poll and I said February 13th, I put the dates too. And then I said reminder, but that because the anonymous listeners or, the anonymous speak pipe person said this poll can only vote. You can only vote on this poll if you are going on the cruise. And you and I decided, well, if you're planning on going.
Yeah.
So there was, again, just a big majority said no, because the options here were no, yes, I will be booking too. And then there were three people added. One person, Brian Shigley, added, no, I'm not booking due to poor choice of dates. Really? I mean, come on. And then Brandon Allen, whoever he is, he posted, yes. Who cruises on Valentine's Day without their wife? ? And then Megan Shelby added wife.
I don't think this. And I love that got several votes.
And that came in second place. That came in second place. And so I'm wondering if she was saying that the wife was the snooty snoot, or if she's
I
just
think
saying that she is.
you make really good points. I think that's exactly what she was saying.
She was saying that anonymous listener's wife was a snooty snoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's pretty obvious. I should have voted that way. So, well, there you go.
I like just the singular wife.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just like wife.
I don't know. I didn't even ask her. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was really cool though. And then we have another poll that's still currently running, but it'll be over by the time that this airs. And it just is a cruise line poll, and it's about what cruise lines have you cruised on. And Carnival has the most votes, but there are several people who have voted who have cruised multiple cruise lines. So I thought that was kind of neat, and no one has voted that they have never cruised. So, and that has quite a few votes. That's one of our most voted polls that we've ever had. So,
absolutely. I noticed you left Windstar off of that list.
I could only put so many. Only put so many on there, and so Windstar did not make the cut.
There's an add poll option.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
Well, when I was making the poll, okay, I had Windstar in there, and I had Azamara as well. But then I realized that I did not put Costa or Never Cruised, so I had to remove those two to put, because I thought Costa was more possible since it falls under that umbrella of Carnival. And so Costa, I don't know how it's pronounced, but so I figured I would add that instead of having either Windstar or Azamara. And I didn't put P&O either. P&O was another one that I didn't get on there.
Well, and what's crazy is, a lot of these polls have to do with this supposed dude's cruise. and this supposed bad planning. And I mean, I don't think that it was that bad of planning because, we explained it last week. And also,
in 2025, prepare to go presidential as the podcastaways Gary Manning and Trevor Shelby go on a President's Day Dudes Cruise. And dude, you are totally invited. We will be sailing on the Carnival Valor on February 13th through the 17th. From New Orleans to Cozumel, it's going to be one wild ride. Contact Amanda Barmore with Have Luggage Will Travel or email booking at hlwtravel.com for more information.
You're watching on Spotify right now.
oh gosh.
Oh, Jen, that wasn't very good. Oh boy. No, I am excited. I think we need to change something in there though to add to going on a President's Day cruise and Valentine's Day.
Yes, yeah. I think an update needs to be done.
Yeah, because even when you made this commercial at this time, we still had not realized that it was.
We were still, man. I was on the phone with George Washington. I was like, I need you shirtless and dancing. So.
It's a very, very handsome George Washington.
Yeah, I mean,
only
might
the best
get the ladies on the dudes cruise with the handsome George Washington.
Oh, it's really funny.
That's one of those things I've already said that once the ladies find out that we're having the Carnival Cruising Podcastaways is having a dudes cruise over Valentine's Day and President's Day weekend. That cruise is going to fill up quick.
Unstoppable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we should have a Valentine's exchange event, which I think would be hilarious. So,
what would we exchange?
And I don't know. Like you did in like grade school. You get like the little card and
like actual true Valentine card thing. Oh
yeah.
Wow. Mm. Okay, we might be able to do that. We might be able to
get
work
the
something
GI
out
Joe ones. So,
well, that's what I was wondering if we could do like some Spencer's Gifts ones or something.
Yeah,
that would be pretty funny.
Oh,
but right now, we are still awaiting a few extra people to sign up. But we do have people committed, so it's exciting. And I know it doesn't matter how many go on it. The ones that going now, it's going to be an amazing time.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny you bring up committed because did you know that Carnival has committed a relationship with Norfolk?
That was a good one. Oh, I thought Jen was frozen, but she's just being silent.
She's being silent.
She's refusing to comment because of.
I'm just associating.
Yeah. So according to Carnival and the Street, it says after the tragic Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse that closed Baltimore's port, both Carnival and Royal Caribbean used Norfolk, Virginia as a temporary port. That was a reasonable solution as it was a logistical challenge for many passengers who have booked to leave from one port and then had cruises move to another. Norfolk, however, will become a Carnival home port as the cruise line is moving the Carnival Sunshine there in 2026. No better place for it. Carnival brand ambassador John Hild wrote that Carnival Sunshine would offer a variety of itineraries. And yeah, they said there's, they looked at all the other ports and they were like, there's nowhere else really to be. And so I think this is a fantastic decision. Gary,
how do you feel about this?
I think that Norfolk has already had a cruise ship, and it has had cruise ships sail out of it before whenever it was not the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse.
Mhm.
and people's cars were being vandalized. This was about 2 years ago. Do you know where I've never heard of cars being vandalized before?
Where? Tell us.
Where?
Mobile. You know who needs a full-time ship? Mobile.
Where?
I don't even know where and how to start with this. I am telling you right now, I don't understand how all of a sudden Norfolk, and I know they wanted to keep it East Coast and they wanted to keep it near Charleston because of, and they were talking about doing Savannah at one point, talking about even going into North Carolina to keep it closer to Charleston. And I just want to tell you right here, right now, Mobile needs a full-time ship. Mobile will fill it up. Mobile will be safe. Mobile will there's so many different things. And of course, now I can go to Norfolk and I can go to Bermuda. Whoop-de-flippin'-do.
So hashtag Carnival Mobile. I don't know. What do you want the hashtag to be?
No, I do say too, though, they are going to Canada. So that's a kind of a neat a neat itinerary going from Virginia, going up into Canada and hitting Canada a couple times. And they're doing overnights in Bermuda. So it is somewhat entertaining and having a little bit of an option. But I really feel that we should, never mind. But I don't know. Maybe there's already with Tampa having their Gulf and New Orleans having the Gulf and Galveston having one in the Gulf. They just figure that we'll just let Mobile run from March until September-ish. No, September to March rather, because it goes off and does Alaska in April, May, June, July, and August. But yeah, I don't know. I know people here in Alabama and people close to Mobile want a full-time ship in Mobile, but Norfolk, I can understand. Congratulations. Carnival, please reconsider.
Do you know what we should also reconsider?
What's that?
We should probably reconsider leaving our kids in their room by themselves.
God. Reconsider.
Look, man, this conversation is all Jen and you. I personally, I've already got my blood pressure up just talking about Mobile not having a full-time ship. I don't want to raise it even more by talking about two imbeciles who want to leave a toddler and look to be maybe even just a slightly
baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
I thought it was it looked like a baby in the video, but it could be right there borderline toddler because it did look like it could be a larger baby, could be in that toddler frame, but it looked like it was probably a 14-month-old and maybe a 28-month-old. I don't know.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So we're gonna.
So I guess we'll just carry on without him.
Okay, well we can. So Jen, why don't you tell the listeners what all happened on
I will tell the listeners what all happened.
Cruise.
TikTokers Matt and Abby Howard are facing backlash for leaving their toddlers in their cruise ship cabin. So without looking the story up, because I'm not that kind of journalist, I understand that they tried to put the kids in the childcare on the ship that wasn't working for them and opted to change their dinner time and let the kiddos go to bed. So dinner time was after the kids went to bed. They set their phone up on FaceTime so they could view the kiddos and went to dinner. And they shared this as a cruise hack on TikTok, and the internet responded in the way the internet does. Harshly.
Yeah. I don't know anything about these people. And so I started the first time I ever typed their names in. They're like, I guess they're pretty popular folk. And I clicked on their name, and then the first thing that comes up is an apology that they put up. And that, hey, we understand y'all don't like you don't quite get what happened. It was kind of it wasn't a great apology. It was kind of like, look, we didn't really post it right. So just so you know, there was somebody nearby kind of thing. Just trying to, yeah, no, I don't think anybody was nearby. I think, why else are you setting your phone up on FaceTime to watch your kiddos? That is ridiculous.
One reason. And one reason only.
What is it?
They knew it would make them viral. They knew it would make them famous, internet famous, and all kinds of people would be talking about them and going over and looking at their TikToks, giving them plays, giving them views.
You know what's sad?
And here we are talking about them.
Duped.
You said all those podcasts talking about them. What fools.
Oh, they're like, we've got them now.
What is the saying? Controversy creates cash. Yeah, please don't do that to your kids. Don't leave them in the room by themselves. And that would be a terrible thing. And I don't really care because, like, depending on the size of the ship, that could be like a 10-15 minute walk. Just imagine what things your kids could get into while you're trying to get back to the room because something's happening. So there you go.
Agree.
And so they video produced this. They made a TikTok about it, talking about a cruise hack. It was not a hack. And there's another thing that populated this week on John Heald's page. That's not a hack. But it's so called a hack because people, again, are uninformed, not knowledgeable, don't understand the workings of a cabin on a cruise ship. There's a slot in the cabin that allows you to put your room key in that turns the lights on. It does not control the air conditioning.
Yeah. So that was actual news article. that was an actual slow news day, guys. So
all right, yeah. No, I'm out of my serious mode. All right, yeah.
But seriously though, I have seen that as a explanation of why people's air is not working. Well, did you have the card in the slot? And so it's ridiculous. It doesn't work. Now, it did get me thinking though, like now that, because I was thinking, babe, we're going to talk about this on the podcast. So what if it did like what if they did set it up that way? And like any empty cabins that weren't needing air conditioning could just not have it. That would be interesting. That would be a bad way to go about that.
I don't know though, with that being said, so are you saying so if there was not somebody in them during the day, or empty for the whole entire sailing?
Empty for the whole sailing, because I assume that everybody,
that's not happening anymore.
I just assume that everybody sticks the card in the slot, or your room steward's done it for you, and you move on with your life, and you have that in there the whole cruise. So
exactly,
I'm saying that if let's say they didn't sell the room, or those people didn't show up, they would just not put a card in the slot, and the air doesn't run, and then thus cooling down the neighboring cabins more if they needed it. So, or saving power, or whatever it needs.
Yeah. So I do know on the Spirit, when you were on the Spirit, you were there, and you and Megan had a hard time keeping your cabin cool. Yeah, it was always hot. And then somebody near you always was complaining of their cabin being cold.
Yes. So
what about that? Were you keeping because if I remember the Spirit correctly, it does have the slot for the card.
Mm-hmm. We had the card in the whole time. And I'm honestly convinced that the little thermostat in your cruise room is just for make believe. You just like pretend and hope that it's going to do something. and it's to give you that hope, and then you're like, oh, I can feel it now, when really it's like a placebo effect. And because we were sweltering, but it was better than the alternative of what my parents were going through, which was like, oh, we could make a snowman in our room. So
that's really crazy. And they were just a couple doors down, right?
yeah, they weren't far from us. So
yeah, that's just so odd.
They were like a floor over and floor down. But
okay,
it wasn't like a big deal. They're closer to the icebergs, that's
they were.
Yes,
that's what it was. So I can tell you now that I cannot wait for the Luminosa in April. No, I'm sorry, in May, for our Carnival Cruising Podcastaways group cruise numero uno, because we're going to Alaska and it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've been talking about hotels today and all kinds of stuff. If you would like to talk about hotels and other things to go along with this cruise, you should contact Amanda Barmore. Her information is going to be down in the description below, and she'll give you all the details on that cruise.
She'll give you the deets.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't know about now, but before, when we were first talking about this, man, it was such an affordable cruise for Alaska. And they're not sponsoring us or anything, but the Uplift, man, has been a lifesaver for me on that one. So
right.
I've been knocking that off. I've pretty much have it paid off as of next month. So
don't be Skibbity Ohio and and book.
Be the Rizzler and
that's right,
and book.
Yes.
The Rizzlers are going to Alaska.
Yes.
And you should join us. Yes, you should. So I do know that we also had one other thing to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to bring that up now? Because that was a fun post that happened to John Heald. I thought it was anyway.
Oh my gosh.
John had to make a comment on it. Somebody commented to him about it. And I'll be more than happy to read that for you, Trevor.
If you want to read it, because I was not prepared.
Yeah. So it says, honestly, C, I am right. Honestly, I am. I know when.
Wait, what did they say to John Heald? Don't make me come over there and fight you. I'll fight you.
I promise. You see the seasons. Oh, wait, I better back up. Okay. So
sorry, that was a little delayed.
You let it go a lot longer that time. I was impressive. I kept looking like, okay, I was waiting for your hand to move so I could figure it out. But so it does. But John Heald, I guess he had a comment. And so it says, honestly, see, I am right. Honestly, I am. I know when you fly from Philadelphia to Sydney that it will be wintertime, but you will not need warm clothes. I promise. You see, the seasons are at opposite times of the year between the northern and southern hemispheres of this wonderful world we live in. When you cruise on the Splendor, it will be Christmas, but it will also be summertime. Christmas is observed in the summertime in Australia. You can check with Uncle Google, and he will confirm the date for Christmas is the 25th of December, and that it will be summertime, that I am not indeed full of. I am posting this here so that my Aussie mates can confirm this too. Cheers. OFFFFS.
I think the only way we can confirm this is if Tim leaves us a speak pipe, and our Aussie friend, and he lets us know what the temperature really is. Because you know what, Google, I mean, come on, do they really know everything? So.
Well, you have to be careful if you're asking for temperature from an Aussie, because they don't have it in real temperature. They do the sea temperature.
What
Yes.
is the
The
C?
Celsius.
Yes, the
And then you have to do
Celsius.
math.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, never mind.
Yeah, they'll tell you that it's 30 degrees Celsius in
Oh.
December. Or it's 30 degrees in December, but they don't tell you that
Mhm.
it's Celsius. And so, or even sometimes it can get up to 42 degrees. And yeah, that just is super, super fantastic when it gets to 42 degrees.
Yeah. And it reminds me a lot of people that I'm in a couple Facebook groups where people they post some shaming posts maybe where people are kind of like overly like assuming or a lot of it's kind of like, you can spot the American because they're bringing up, they're arguing about something. They're like, look, this is not what's going on over there. This is over here. And so,
True American fashion.
yeah, absolutely. So, this is a big world and things are different in different places. So I'm sure that it is correct that, according to Uncle Google, it's summertime is December through February over there, which I've never really gave it like much of a thought before, especially when it comes to cruising over there. Because man, it's always good to get away for like a winter cruise. I was like, man, like that's even better.
That's really getting away. Yes.
Mhm.
And so we won't do the science lesson about how the earth is tilted on its axis. And so whenever, we won't worry
So
about
now
all
you're
that.
scaring me.
Yeah, no, we won't get into
No.
all that. But I do also, I think this will be our main topic, and this is going to lead to some discussion that's going to move over into our Facebook group. But do you guys, John Heald had another post on his page, and we'll get to the post here in just a second. I will resend it to you all if you want. That way you can find it easier so somebody else can read it. But he had a fun post. I'm sending it right now. So there it is. But when you leave off of the ship, do you leave your passport in your room or do you take it with you?
So would you like me to read it since you pretty much did it yourself, or
No, that's what I'm saying. But no, the
That's the
post
gist.
that John had is just, we need to read that but I'm curious with you guys. Do you do you even travel with a passport?
Yes.
That's the first question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jen, you
Yes.
do? Okay. Jen, you passport. Trevor, you have one. Okay. I do not. I travel with a birth certificate. So I am like, which of course now I guess I still can take my birth certificate off the boat with me or the ship. Can't believe I just said boat. Oh my gosh.
Tisk.
The foreshadowing of this post. But I will have to have my passport for Seattle and going to Alaska though, because I have heard I will not be able to get off of the ship in Canada if I don't have my passport. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll have to look into that, and maybe some listeners can help out and tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Well, and so typically I don't really think about it too much because I don't carry a passport book. I carry the card. And so usually it's in my wallet. Sometimes I lock it up in the safe. And if I think about it, honestly. And I do know that if we get left behind, they supposedly go through and check your safe and make sure they remove that stuff and look for your things like a passport, and they leave that. So you can find your way home eventually, some point, you don't have to swim. And but looking at this post, I do love part of it here. So
Exactly.
Exactly. I realized quickly why I'm reading this. But so I need to do it in the correct vocal range here. It's, you need to be corrected, John. A passport should always be taken into port as your ID. If I'm ever on a cruise, Bahamas, Mexico, or any other island nations, I always take my passport. Everyone should. I am a diamond and passenger and an elite plus on another cruise line? If not, why do you have it? If for some reason you missed the boat, broken down excursions, bus cab, or injuries sitting in a hospital, your passport will sell on and you'll be stuck in a foreign country with a piece of paper and a picture of your passport, which is as good as nothing. If you're not worried about losing your driver's license or phone, why would your passport be any different? John, why are you even on here if you provide incorrect information that could become a disaster for your passengers? So there you go.
That was fantastic voice over reading.
I
Thank
know.
you.
Extraordinary.
I went to school for that. So
I will read John's reply.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to this lovely lady for her opinion. Here, though, is mine. You should not take your original passport when you go ashore. Some people will take a photocopy of their passport or use a driver's license or something similar to show the local security when returning to the ship. This is adequate and all that is needed. In case of an emergency, which meant you could not return to the ship, we do indeed have a policy in place. Your passport will be collected from the guest cabin, including retrieving it from the safe, and by our housekeeping officers, a guest services officer, or someone from our security team. We would then return the passport to the ship's agent. We have one in every single port who takes care of the ship's needs during the time there. The agent would return the original passport to you. Anyway, this is one of those occasions where I say you have to do what is best for you. Thoughts, please. Cheers. So that's why I ask, do you take your passport ashore?
Yeah, I don't worry about it either way. But you know what we can do is we could post a poll.
We could. We will. I think we might.
Yeah.
I know that. I do know that for me personally, the very first time I'm at that port, I'm going to take my passport aboard because I want to be a passport stamper. Right?
I see what you're saying.
I want to get those stamps, and so I'm going to make sure that passport booklet, and if I can use the same passport book that I had from 2000. Whenever I went over to Belgium, and went to England and all this, and I have all the stamps in there from that, it would be really cool to be able to combine them, but I don't know if I can use the same book or not. So, but with that being said, I will be one of those stamper people. And that's going to be the only time that I take it off.
You heard it here. Gary takes it off for the stamps.
But only once.
But only once.
Only one time. I don't care about a duplicate stamp. Don't be bringing me the same stamp. It's got to be a different stamp. You want me to take it off? It better be a different stamp.
You got to make it worthwhile, is what I'm
That's
hearing.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I think it's interesting that he would advise against taking a passport off the ship. Did he say why? Is it the risk of it getting lost?
I think that's probably the
Yes,
biggest
100%.
reason.
Yes. Yeah, all of the different ports, the amount of pickpockets that are there and the stuff that gets stolen.
Yeah.
If your passport, or also another person in the comments brought up a fantastic point, and I thought that it's scary, but it's very true. If you were to get kidnapped and you had your passport on you, they're going to be able to move you from country to country easier than if you did not have your passport.
That's a terrifying thought.
It is, isn't it? It's a very terrifying thought. But like the number of likes and like the comments that person got up underneath that post was like, I mean, everybody was like, oh, wow, that's a good point. I never thought about that.
Okay, that person shouldn't get off the ship. That person needs to stay on the ship. If that is their concern, if I take this
really
singular document off the ship with me, I could get kidnapped and trafficked.
You know, I'm trying to picture somebody at like gunpoint going through the airport, being like, "All right, show them your passport. Get the stamp too."
Oh, they got to take it off.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm kind of on the flip of this. The reason I take mine off is because I want it with me, because I don't want somebody else holding it. So, I mean, that's really interesting, and I'm glad to hear John's thoughts behind it. I just always come from the perspective of I am going into a foreign country. This is my identification that shows I'm a citizen of somewhere else. And if I need to get home, I need this. That's really interesting.
But as soon as you lose it, you're not getting back in America.
You know what? I get off that ship and I assume I'm not getting kidnapped.
Well, and
no,
honestly,
not getting kidnapped, but getting pickpocketed, leaving somehow, having your backpack taken while you're on the beach, any of that kind of stuff.
So,
I mean,
well, unlike our good friend Trevor, I am not sucked into every Trace Amigos or other unlimited beverage place. I generally keep my wits about me.
well, and I will say that where are you being stopped coming in anymore with Smile and Go technology? So, I mean, you are.
Yeah, but they still at any point in time can sit there and say, "I need to see your passport."
Yeah, they can.
So that's the thing. So, and possibly, I mean, if you have it on your phone, then maybe they'll accept that for the way to get through Smile and Go.
And you know what's a fantastic thing that's all about this is when you go on CCP Group Cruise 1 to Alaska, when you get off the ship, it's the easiest get off the ship you'll ever do, because you just collect your things and roll on down the ramp and you're gone. You go right to the parking lot, because there is nobody checking anything, because you are in the United States and you were in the United States pretty much the whole time. You're in Canada, you're already checked going back and forth. So it's not a big deal. It was the quickest debarkation I've ever done in my life. So
nice.
And it was also the easiest for you because you checked your luggage all the way to the airport.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the other positive there. So, but oh yeah. Anyways,
right.
Well,
please let me know, because I mean, I will start traveling with a passport as soon as my wife applies for them and gets them. And so when that happens, I will have one, and I need to know, should I take it off the ship or should I leave it in my room? Because right now I have a little document folder that goes in my backpack, and it has it, I want to say we still carry all that stuff off whenever we go off the ship. So it would basically be like me carrying my passport off the ship, I guess. But yeah, that's something else, man. Well, before we sign off, do we have any speak pipes or anything like that, Trevor? I want to go ahead and I do know that I think we might.
I'm trying to remember if we do or not.
Hey guys, it's the anonymous listener again. I don't know who this Brandon is you speak of, but
we made him up.
You were a little confused when I said my favorite podcast was Doing a Group Cruise. I hate to break this to you. It's not you guys. It's the other one. Yeah, that one. I'm so excited to hear that Jen's going to be a new host on there. I really enjoy her, and I was kind of sad they didn't have her over there, but now they do, so that makes things a lot better. And hopefully, Trevor, maybe you can come, over there too for 1 or 2 podcasts. Maybe we can get them to, 5 instead of 4. I've been waiting a couple months, maybe even longer for that 4th one, but hopefully we'll get there. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to listen to them.
Make sure you head on over to our Facebook page over at facebook.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. We also have a YouTube channel as well, 8,000 subscribers and counting. And guess what?
That is amazing. We have
yeah.
8,000.
Yeah.
Could you imagine not even having 500?
I'm not even 500. What a loser. So I'm kidding. I did all this out. Make sure you head on over to our SpeakPipe page over at speakpipe.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Link is down in the description. Leave us a voicemail just like that one, and we'll play it on the show. But just know that you are unique, you are special, and you are loved.
91 days. Trevor and I will be boarding the Carnival Venezia with the mystery cruise director. But that does not matter because in 92 days, I'm going to have a breakfast burrito in my hands.
In 107 days, I will be boarding a non-carnival ship and try to find what on earth you eat for breakfast.
All right. So
wow.
Harsh.
Very harsh.
Make sure you go over to Spotify.
Yes.
and watch our shows. I'm sorry, kid. Go ahead. Finish your.
I was simply trying to say I was going to find what the equivalent of the breakfast burrito, like what is the known breakfast food on a princess ship. But that's fine. You don't want to hear about it. I'm sure the cruise guy podcast or whatever the heck it is, they would want to know.
Yeah. And just know anything that happens on YouTube, you'll see on a cruise. And save the foosball tables. Bye-bye.
Get better, Thomas. We'll see you soon.
Love you,
Yes,
bud.
sir. TK. Adios.
Ay.
Bye-bye.